Hello everyone and welcome to another World of Warcraft guide video. In today's video I'll be showing you how to solo the Mythic Jaina Proudmoore encounter. Jaina is the final boss in the Battle for Dazar'alor raid, which was released in the Battle for Azeroth expansion. The main reason to do this encounter is obviously for her mount, the Glacial Tidestorm, which has a 1% chance to drop. If you have defeated Mythic Jaina in the past, a skip was implemented back in 2020, which allows you to skip straight to Jaina. I don't know if it was always this way, but the skip does apply to your alts as well. If you've never defeated her, I would strongly suggest doing a pre-made group of this instance, as the other encounters can be difficult to solo. But once you've defeated her once, you will get the skip. Once you zone in, you will see an NPC to your right, which will give you an option to go straight to Mythic Jaina. However, I will warn that if you intend to do any other bosses, once you utilize the skip, there is no way to go back and do any other encounter. So make sure you only use the skip if Jaina is the only boss that you care about. Now this encounter has gone untouched for quite a long time, until recently in patch 10.2.7 when a very important mechanic was changed. Previously, this encounter was impossible to solo unless you had extremely good gear, played a specific class and spec, and had really high burst damage and mobility. The change that was made is simple. The mythic-only mechanic that will essentially perma-freeze you has been removed in solo play. Before, if you didn't have at least 5 other players near you, the mechanic, Gathering Blizzard, would increase on the encounter bar. This has been nerfed to only now require 1 other person. However, if you are doing this encounter solo, it does not matter. The bar will fill up, and you will get the visual freeze effect, but nothing happens. Essentially, this means the encounter is now soloable. It should be noted, however, that some mechanics you do still have to be wary of, which I will go over later in this video. As you can see now on the screen, I am using an eye level 442 Shadow Priest, whom I have not touched since Season 3 of Dragonflight. I soloed this with ease, which gives me confidence in saying you can probably get away with an even lower item level. The one thing I will strongly recommend is bringing a class that can interrupt. It is technically possible without one, but you will be waiting around 1.5 minutes for the first transition in order to continue the encounter. This encounter has around a 12-minute berserk time, so I would strongly suggest bringing a class with an ability to interrupt, especially during the first transition. The second Arcane Barrage transition, however, isn't a big of a deal. As you can see, I had my silence on cooldown on accident, and the only thing that happens during this transition is she Arcane Barrages and knocks you back a lot. You will notice Jaina has around 13 million HP, and there's no legacy buff enabled in this dungeon. The damage you do in Dragonflight is the damage you will do on this encounter. This boss is essentially fighting an elite rare in the Emerald Dream Zone in terms of boss time. At an average 440 item level, this should take you around 5 to 7 minutes. Here are the main mechanics to keep an eye on. Phase 1, there are 2 mechanics. The first is Freezing Blast. This ability can knock you off the boat if you are facing too close to the edge. Falling off in Phase 1 will be instant death. Position yourself in the middle and try to avoid getting hit and preventing the knockback. It is okay to get hit if you are positioned correctly, but just try to dodge to be on the safe side. The second ability is Ring of Ice. If you get hit by this ability, you'll be frozen for 2 minutes and you cannot immune it off. Most likely, the boss mechanics will kill you in 2 minutes of doing nothing. Avoid these 2 mechanics, and you will breeze through Phase 1, which ends at 60% HP. This will lead you to the first transition phase, Howling Winds. You will jump off the boat and make your way toward Jaina. Avoid the giant tornadoes as they will knock you back. Eventually you will make it up to Jaina, and this is where you'll want to interrupt her Howling Winds ability to begin Phase 2. At this point, Jaina will be immune to damage until you defeat her Icebound images. Once they are all defeated, the armor will be removed and you can continue to DPS Jaina. In this phase, you can essentially ignore all the mechanics, as they don't really do much to you. If you are having trouble keeping yourself healed, however, you can make every effort to avoid being hit. Continue DPS on Jaina until she gets to 30% HP. At this point, she will enter the second phase, Flash Freeze. It is very important you turn to the giant ice wall and DPS it down before the freeze hits you. If it reaches you, you will be frozen and eventually she will shatter and instantly kill you. If you cannot DPS the wall down in time, you might consider bringing drums to Bloodlust, or get better gear. After the wall goes down, you will continue down and break out into Thanos. Once he has broken out, the flash freeze portion ends. Bring the water elemental with you, DPS it down near Jaina, and interrupt Jaina's arcane barrage to begin the final phase. If you don't have any interrupt, or you accidentally used it, this is fine. The phase will eventually start anyway. As you can see here, I had silence on cooldown by mistake, and the phase still ended eventually. Phase 3 is just a tank and spank, nothing really special. DPS her down to 5% to where the encounter will end. And that's it. Hopefully you get the mount, but if not, keep trying. I'm still trying to actively get it myself. But I just wanted to share with you guys that this is indeed now soloable. So, happy mount hunting everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and click on subscribe. Your support makes doing videos like these possible, and I cannot do it without each and every one of you. I really appreciate it.